Grab your notebook because it is time to set some mid-year reset goals. Whether you have completely forgotten about your goals or you've accomplished a few and not others, this is such a great exercise that I use every 6 months to reset, reprioritize, and gain some clarity on where to go next. So number one, we want to reflect on our goals. What are the goals that we set in January? What were they? Because that was quite a long time ago. And which ones did you achieve? Which ones did you forget about? And that's okay. We're only human. And actually some become irrelevant as well because we change. What do we want to carry forwards? So I want you to write down 3 from that list that you want to do in the next 6 months. And we're not choosing any more than 3 because that's just going to be too overwhelming. Number 2, we were going to write these 3 goals down as SMART goals. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. For example, I want to run a 10K. Mine would be to complete a 10K race on the 20th of June. 20th of June is when the race is. 10K is achievable for me because I did a 5K not too long ago. It's relevant because I'm a personal trainer. So I want you to write down a SMART goal for each goal that you've written down. Make it specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Number 3, what got in your way this past 6 months? What obstacles did you face that made you not achieve these goals? Was it fear? Was it lack of time? Was it lack of clarity? Was it overthinking? Was it not having those structures and routines in place? Are you doing a few too many hours at work and not focusing on what really matters to you? Is it financial? What was it that got in the way? And once you figure out what it was, let's figure out now, how will we overcome that? Write down multiple ways you can overcome each one. At least like 3 ways of overcoming that obstacle would be amazing. So it's going to take a little bit of time to think about, but it is well worth it because without being aware of the obstacle and without being realistic that there will be an obstacle, then we're never going to achieve these goals because we're just going to assume, oh, it'll kind of work itself out. But in reality, you have got to set some sort of an intention and awareness to make it happen. Number 4, let's celebrate the wins before being only focused on the negative. What did you achieve within the last 6 months? What would January you be really proud of that you've accomplished? And I think that is so important because it's really easy to just constantly look forward and look ahead and improve ourselves. But remember that you probably have achieved something. And if you feel like you haven't, even small wins are amazing. Just try and reflect, think about what went well, and celebrate your wins by writing them down and maybe even giving yourself a little treat. Take yourself out for a meal or mark it in some sort of occasion or gifting to yourself. Number 5, build systems. Without systems, goals are just words on a piece of paper. We want to break them down into systems so that we can actually take action. This is my main message, is that without action, goals are only dreams. And dreams are fantastic, but if you're not taking action, then after a while they start to hang over you like dead weight, making you feel really quite crappy. Let's break them down in systems. What does that look like? So you're going to look at the 6 months and then you break it into monthly goals, weekly goals, and daily goals. I'll go back to the 10K race. So by September, 3 months. Okay, so within 3 months, I want to run 55 minutes, 10K. So then I would break that down per month how much running I need to do. Okay, I'm going to run 3 times a week, and I'm going to do an interval, an easy run, and a long run. That sort of thing. And then that is really achievable now because I have a system in place that I know that I've worked backwards from the main goal. Number 6, we're going to do a life audit. That is looking at home, connection, business, finances, joy, the things that bring you joy, so your hobbies, experience, health, and beauty is my extra one. You don't have to have it, but I think everyone should. And you're going to draw a big circle and you're going to rate each thing out of 10. Where is your attention currently going? I want you to rate each area. How well is it going? How much of your attention does it have? And then we want to look at where your attention is actually going and where you actually want it to go. Maybe there's gaps in areas that you're thinking, oh gosh, like I actually want to grow that area of my life. Or it's looking a bit unbalanced in terms of, I don't know, maybe you're only focused on business, finance, and home, but you have no joy, connection, experience. So then you might want to balance that out. But at no point can you have all of them at once at 10. That's just not going to happen. So we want to choose selectively, how would you like it, and work from it from how it is currently. Number 7 is, how would achieving these goals feel? What emotion am I choosing to feel for the next 6 months? What emotion am I choosing to feel by December? What is it that I want to feel by the end of those 6 months? Confidence, trusting of myself. It might even be, connected or loving or more spiritual. I don't know. Everyone's going to be something different. But I think it's really important because then daily you can say, well, am I feeling that way? And if you're not, then you're probably a little bit far away from it. And that happens quite a lot with fitness goals, is that people will say, oh, I want to work out, and then they'll work out 5 times a week for like an hour or 2 each day. But they're actually feeling exhausted and they're feeling overwhelmed and burnt out. And I think this is why it's important, because if you set the goal and you check in, let's say in like a month, and the goal was to feel energized, healthy, excited, all of these things, but you're feeling tired, overwhelmed, burdened, then you know that the structure and system you've created isn't going to lead to the goal that you actually want, because it doesn't feel right. Checking with how you feel is really important, but first we got to know, how do we want to feel? Okay, so number 8 is, now we're going to prioritize the 3 goals that we wrote down earlier. I want you to number them 1, 2, 3 in order of priority. Which goal is it that if you achieve that by the end of the year and none of the rest, would you feel like it changed your life, it made you feel so much better about yourself, and it improved your life overall? What is that one singular goal? It might even be the goal that you'd be wanting to achieve for the longest time, because then that shows how passionate you are about it. So maybe let's get that out of the way and then we can focus on the rest later. We want to prioritize them because then we know how much energy to put into each one. Because although we can achieve each one, and you could split it up into 2 months, 2 months, 2 months, that's also a possibility. I kind of think it's okay to also balance all at the same time, depending on if they're different areas of your life. For example, one might be business, one might be health, and one might be relationships or something like that. Then you can balance them all at the same time, but just think this one is my main priority, so that's going to get more of my attention. And it's not the absolute end of the world if by the end of the year I don't completely achieve the other two, but I've moved in the right direction for them. And then number 9, let's figure out your values. What are our values? What values does my future self live by? I want you to think about this because it has changed my life to think about what values do I want to live by, since every decision we make, which we make so many decisions in a day, let alone in 6 months, you just open your notebook, you look at your values, and if you can memorize them, that's even better, because then every time you make a decision, you think about, ooh, but does it value these things? And I know that my top value is well-being. Let's say I am putting my well-being under for a connection or for money or freedom or for experience, then I know that I'm probably gonna not be happy by the end of it. Because I believe that if I fill my well-being, if I fill my cup and make sure I am well and healthy, then I'm going to be there for people a lot better than if I were to sacrifice that. And sometimes it helps you to also create your structures, your routines, because then you're thinking, oh yeah, I value that thing. And usually I'd say top 5 to 6 values is a really good thing to write down, because then it really becomes the compass of your life and the decisions that you make, and it makes it a lot easier. And hopefully, it helps to direct the next 6 months of your life. So a reset isn't really about creating new goals. It's about becoming the person who's capable of achieving them. If you're trying to figure out who that future version of you is, I made an entire other video called I Have a Dream. I'll leave that open for you guys to watch and check out if you'd like more videos like this. If not, I do post every Sunday, and it is so good to have you here. I wish you all the best going into this next 6 months. I hope you enjoyed this practice and this exercise. Good things will be coming our way, and let's keep it positive, hey? Bye.